Hello, it's Silja, and today it's Sunday and it's the last day of the Booktubeathon, so I thought I would share with you what I have been reading so far. And I know that we are not finished, but I don't think I will manage to read that much today. We'll see. So, I have finished 3 books so far, and I have managed to fulfill 3 challenges. So I am pretty pleased with that, because as I said and mentioned earlier, I don't tend to read like several books a week. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased. The first book I read was a book that wasn't on my TBR, because I started it on Saturday. And it's this one. It's Gather the Daughters by Jennie Melamed, and I was quite excited to start this. And the premise is really good. It's a cult. Obviously, it's cool. But yeah, it was I was very captivated, and for the most part I enjoyed it, but at the same time there was some aspects with this that I didn't really enjoy, so I think I need to talk more about it on a later occasion, probably in August. So yeah, so this was my first book. It didn't fulfill any challenges, because it might have been the 7th book that was like this freebie book, but as I didn't read 7 books, I don't know if this will count, but I count this as book number 1. Then I finished Undying, a love story by Michel Faber. This is a collection of poetry, and it is mainly written during and after the loss of his wife Eva to cancer, and for that it's a very emotional read. There were some beautiful poetry here, but I think what touched me the most was the collection as a whole, read in the context it was written. It talks about the happy times, it talks about her illness and how it impacted both her and him and their relationship, and it's about his grief and his anger, but most of all it is about his undying love to his dear Eva. So it's a really good book, and yeah, I think you should check it out. I will read a poem for you that's in the beginning, or it's the first poem in this collection. This is written before Eva was sick, and it's written when he was working as a nurse. I think this is like, no, I'll just read it to you. O old age in our sleep, although there is no God, let us not leave off praying, for words in solemn order may yet prove to be a charm. Sickness swarm around us, scheming harm, plotting our ruin behind our back. Let us pray we may escape attack. We do not fear to die, to ebb away. What we fear is endless days of torture, forced intimacy, with a body that is not our own, carnal knowledge of a cunning abuser, our disease, who fears no medicine and hears no pleas. Let us not leave off praying, let us keep our dream close to our heart, that life is too high principled to linger when it should depart. Yes, let us not leave off praying, not for God a soul to keep, but just to die of old age in our sleep. And I think this is the perfect intro to this collection, because cancer is a devastating and cunning disease that take over your body. And what we all want in the end is to be able to live a life and then just die and not be spending a long time with sickness and in pain. So yeah, it's a good book. I read this for the challenge, read a book in one day and read a book completely outdoors. And yeah, I did both. Then we have another book that I finished in one day. And this is one of my new favorite books of all time. And I am really curious to read more about this author. And that's Being Here, The Life of Paula Modersohn-Becker by Marie Darrieussecq. And this book has recently been translated to English. It's a French book. And the translator is Penny Hueston. And fun fact, it will be translated to Norwegian next year. That's pretty cool. This book is also a book I need to talk more about on a later occasion because I loved it so much. This is a biography of Paula Modersohn-Becker, who was an expressionist artist in the early 1900s. Darrieussecq discovered some of the paintings of this artist by accident, and she got really curious. She was pretty well known in Germany, which was her original country, but she was not very well known outside of Germany. And she is the first woman who painted herself naked and pregnant. She is also one of the first who paints women naked, seen through a woman. Before her, all the naked women was painted by men and was seen through the look of men. And Darrieussecq got really curious and she decided to write her life, the story of her life. It's a very strong piece about a woman who fights for her right to be herself, to be a female artist in a world of men. She talks about finding her own space, her own room as an artist, many years before Virginia Woolf wrote A Room of Her Own. So she was like one of the pioneers, I think. And yeah, it's really strong, it's very touching, and the writing is so poetic. It's like reading a very poetic novel, even though it's a biography. Yeah, most of it takes part in Paris as well. So. But yeah, it's a really strong piece of writing. And it's a very interesting woman. So I read this as the read a person on the cover challenge thing. So yeah. I have 3 more books on my TBR, and I am pretty sure that I will not be able to finish a single one of them, but here are the books. It's the Wartime Notebooks by Marguerite Duras, Exit West by Mohsin Hamid, and last but not least, Paris Street Tales. And I think I might read this next and try to read at least. This was my update for the Booktubeathon. How are you doing with your reading and your TBR and the challenges? Please let me know. And yeah, until next time, have a lovely day, happy reading, and good luck with the last day of the Booktubeathon. Ha det!